Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Welcome to upload number 1 of, not 2, but 3 today. Yes, you're getting a triple whammy from me today. You're welcome. There's this video about England. There's a Chelsea related transfer video that I have to do because there's big news coming out of Italy. That will be revealed later on. And then I will be doing a watch along for the Europa League final. Villarreal versus Manchester United. We can chill out, relax. It's not Chelsea, so we can honestly take it easy, watch the game, have some fun and see who's going to come out on top. My money's on Man United, I'm not going to lie, but you never know. So make sure you tune into the watch along later on. But for this video, we are focusing, I think it's my first video on England in terms of the Euros. And I will be giving you guys coverage on England throughout the Euros as we focus away from club football and we focus on England, hopefully bringing it home. Yeah, it's time. It's about time England actually bring something home and not just a song. Fingers crossed. But this is your first England video and today we are talking about Gareth Southgate's squad announcement. And he's decided, unlike other countries, he's decided to put out a 33-man provisional squad. Other countries have just put out their 25, 26-man squad. That's it. But England have decided on a 33 and on June the 1st, that's going to be trimmed down to 26. I don't really see much point in that because you're only breaking the hearts of 7 players. When you didn't have to do that in the first place. You know, you put them in the England squad, all great, and then 7 hearts get broken. I mean, why do that to them? Anyway, that's Gareth Southgate's decision, but today we are going to look at this squad and see if he's made the correct decisions or has he absolutely bottled it. There's already been some controversy and I've seen it since yesterday. Let's discuss it now. Here is the 33-man provisional England squad and you can find it right here. On my right hand side, on your left hand side. This is, as far as I'm concerned, a bit of a weird one because 4 goalkeepers, understandable, 1 will get thrown away. You know, what I think is going to happen is we're going to get 1 goalkeeper thrown off, we're going to get 2 defenders, 2 midfielders and 2 attackers, or maybe 3 defenders and then, I don't know, 2 midfielders or 1 midfielder and 2 attackers possibly, because look at the amount of defenders we have. This is Gareth Southgate telling the world, I'm going to play with a back 3. No back 4. He doesn't do back 4. We are going to play defensive at the Euros. This tells it all. We've got 12 defenders in this 33-man squad. What is that about? There's no need. He's got 4 right backs. 4 right backs. Let's go by departments. Let's start with the goalkeepers. We've got Dean Henderson, Sam Johnstone, Jordan Pickford and Aaron Ramsdale. Now, fair play to Sam Johnstone and Aaron Ramsdale, who have been called up. Ramsdale hasn't had a good season at all. I mean, let's just put that right. He's been with Sheffield United. They've had a horrific season. And he's been called up because I just think it's just a matter of how many England goalkeepers there are. You know, and if I'm making a prediction, I do think Aaron Ramsdale is going to be the goalkeeper that is taken off the 33-man provisional list and will not make it to the 26-man squad. I think the 3 goalkeepers are going to be Dean Henderson, Jordan Pickford and Sam Johnstone. Fair play to Sam Johnstone as well. He's had a relatively decent season in terms of level when at Southampton. Fair play to him. But Dean Henderson done well in the absence of David De Gea at Manchester United, so he's definitely warranted his place. And Jordan Pickford, because he was England's number 1, or maybe still is England's number 1, he just gets automatic call up into the team, despite him not actually being that good for Everton. You know, it's mad when you see Jordan Pickford play for Everton sometimes, and he sometimes doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. But there are some games where he just pulls off absolute worldies. When he's playing for England, I feel like he does better than he does for Everton. So it's a bit of a weird one. It's a sticky one. If I'm making a prediction, I think Dean Henderson might actually become England number 1. So we'll see what happens when we get closer to the Euros. But those are the goalkeepers. My prediction is Aaron Ramsdale gets excluded from this and will not make it to the 26-man squad. The defenders. Now this is where Southgate has had an absolute field day. And he's probably creamed himself in the process. But we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ben Chilwell, Connor Cody, Ben Godfrey, Reece James, Harry Maguire, Tyrone Mings, Luke Shaw. This is going to take about a week. John Stones, Kieran Trippier, Kyle Walker and Ben White. I mean, why is there 4 right backs? I know Gareth Southgate in the press conference yesterday actually tried to explain it and say that different players have, they're quite versatile. They can play in different positions. Like a Trippier, for example, can play right back and left back. We've got Trent Alexander-Arnold that can play as a right back but can go forward as a right winger or a right wing back. We've got Reece James that can play as a wing back, as a right-sided centre back, can play as a defensive midfielder if needed. So he tried to justify it with that. No. Look, we have players in all of those positions that you've just outlined, Gareth. We don't need 4 right backs. Simple as that. It's as simple as that, mate. And if I'm making a prediction, I think 1 right back has to be excluded. Surely. Now, in terms of this team, I'm quite surprised. I'm not surprised Eric Dier didn't make it, because Eric Dier has not had a good season at all, and I can see the centre-backs that he's chosen that could be actually higher up in the pecking order than Eric Dier. But if I'm looking at one centre-back that is there, that isn't there, I'm surprised that he's not there, it's Bukayo Tomori. He's been fantastic at AC Milan, had a very good loan spell. I just don't see why he's not in this team, but we've decided to call up, no disrespect, we've got Conor Cody, who's actually a good centre-back, Ben Godfrey, who is a good centre-back, has not had the best season though, and we've got Ben White. Why is Tomori not there? And this isn't a bias as a Chelsea fan, I'm not saying that, but I reckon Tomori, just for what he can bring, and the season he's had at AC Milan, should be in the squad. I just don't see why he's not. But that's Gareth Southgate's decision. I know some people are going to look at Harry Maguire and just have an absolute, rant about it and go, oh, he shouldn't be in this England squad. I can see why. But he's going to get called up. He was always going to get called up. If I'm making predictions now, I think we're going to see 2 defenders omitted from this team. And I reckon it's going to be Kieran Trippier, because I think if you're looking in terms of right backs, Trent Alexander-Arnold, despite the dodgy season with Liverpool so far, I think Reece James, Kyle Walker are probably ahead of him. Wan-Bissaka has not been called up, and that's a weird one, considering Trippier has been called up. I do think we're going to see Trippier omitted, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James, and Kyle Walker as our right-back options left in the squad. I think we're going to get rid of 1 centre-back because we've only got 2 left-backs in this. We've got Ben Chilwell and we've got Luke Shaw. Obviously, there are some other players that might be able to fill in, but we've got Ben Chilwell and Luke Shaw. I do see possibly a Ben White, maybe a Godfrey or a Tyrone Mings getting omitted as well. But if I'm going to have to call it, I reckon it's going to be Trippier and Ben White that are excluded, and we'll keep the rest. Now, shout out to Tyrone Mings, Ben Godfrey and Conor Cody. They are good centre-backs, especially, and I think the dark horse in those 3 is going to be Tyrone Mings. Because at Aston Villa, he's looked solid. He's looked good. He's been under good leadership, learning from John Terry. And, I do think Aston Villa's back line, Chelsea have seen that very recently. And obviously me being a Chelsea fan, being able to analyse those games in person, I do see that Tyrone Mings is probably a good shout. So those are the dark horses. And I feel like those are going to be the 2 players, Trippier and Ben White. We move into midfield. And there's one surprise omission here. And I didn't expect this. Now, despite his injuries, I still think he's good enough to be in this England squad. And that's Maddison of Leicester. Why is Maddison not here? I don't understand. We've called up Calvin Phillips. We've called up James Ward-Prowse. Now, why is Maddison not there? Why? Is it just because he's been injured? I feel like, especially with his late run with Leicester, despite his injuries, he's still quality enough to be in this squad. And I think he's one of the names that people are looking to. When you talk about Foden, you talk about, Maddison is a part of that. You talk about Sancho, you talk about Grealish. I mean, Maddison is part of that, isn't it? Mount. I'm surprised. But anyway, the midfielders we've gone with are Jude Bellingham, Jordan Henderson, Jesse Lingard, Mason Mount, Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice, and James Ward-Prowse. Now, it's a good midfield lineup. I'm not going to lie. It's a very good midfield lineup, and I'm happy with that. Some people are going to have a problem with Jordan Henderson getting picked, but he's captain. He's captain. He was always going to be selected, even if his leg was going to fall off. That's just the reality of Gareth Southgate's plans. So I'm not surprised. But again, looking at that, the 2 midfielders that I think might be omitted from this, or maybe just 1 because there's a lack of midfielders in this compared to defenders and attackers, I do think we are going to get rid of either Calvin Phillips or James Ward-Prowse, or possibly both. Simple as that. But I still have that problem with Maddison not being in the team. I think he would have been great for us. I really, really do. And I think that's a Gareth Southgate mistake. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Would you have had Maddison in this team? I certainly would have. Let me know if you agree or disagree and your points as to why or why not. But the midfield looks strong. Bellingham, fantastic season at Dortmund. Brilliant. Jordan Henderson, captain, as I've already said. Jesse Lingard's had a fantastic spell at West Ham. And he's proven why he is actually good enough. Mason Mount, player of the season at Chelsea. There's no two ways about why he gets picked, and I think he's loved by every single manager he plays under. Calvin Phillips, fair play to Calvin Phillips and his display at Leeds United. Leeds United, who have played some very good football and have exceeded expectation in terms of league position. Calvin Phillips, with a little bit of experience in the national team as well, I feel like is good enough to be called up. I just don't think we'll make the 26-man squad. Declan Rice, no two ways about it. He's been great for West Ham. Despite the injury, he's been fantastic. And James Ward-Prowse, again, he's been called up for England in the past. But again, if I'm looking to two names, I think Calvin Phillips and Ward-Prowse are going to be the ones taken off the list, or one of them if we're only getting rid of one midfielder. Now, we move into the forward positions, and this is where it gets tasty. And this is where I look at it and go, why have we picked so many defenders when we have an abundance of attacking talent? It's crazy. Anyway, we've decided to go with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Mason Greenwood, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, Jadon Sancho, Raheem Sterling and Ollie Watkins. That is a deadly lineup. Now some are going to say, why is Bamford not in this team? Why has Bamford not made it, but Ollie Watkins has? Because when you look at it, Bamford has actually scored more than Ollie Watkins this season. I can understand possibly why. I think Ollie Watkins is the more well-rounded striker, despite the not lack of goals, despite having less goals compared to Bamford, but not by a lot. I think he scored 14 and Bamford scored 17. So it's not that much. But in terms of being well-rounded, his hold-up play, physicality, his speed, etc., I think the whole package, you're probably going to pick Ollie Watkins, but I still don't think Ollie Watkins will make it into the 26-man squad. So regardless if it was Bamford or Watkins, I still don't think either of them would make it into the 26-man squad. In terms of all the attacking lineup, the attacking players we have, though, I'm happy with this. I mean, Calvert-Lewin looks deadly up top. Brilliant. Phil Foden, different gravy. Actually, not just him, Grealish, Greenwood, Sancho, Saka, even Saka. There's a chance that Saka might actually not make it, though. And I just think that's because of experience. That's just because of, it's probably not been that long. He's been an under 21 player mostly, and I've just got a feeling compared to everyone else, he might not get the call up. But there is a name that hasn't been put in this list, and that's Hudson-Odoi. And I understand why. He's just not played that much, if I'm being completely honest, and he hasn't impressed overall. He's been good at moments, good at spells, but when you look at other players like Greenwood, who's been more consistent, Saka for Arsenal's been more consistent. You look at Grealish and Sancho, and the choices are it's an abundance of choices for England in terms of those positions. So in terms of the attacking players and who I think is going to be omitted, I'm going to be a bit controversial here, because there's definitely going to be two names that I reckon will not make it. There's 7 players that won't make it. So 2 attackers are my prediction. My two attackers that I would definitely move to the side when I look at it list would be Ollie Watkins and Raheem Sterling. Now, some of you are going to say, what? Sterling? Yes, Sterling. I'm just not convinced with Sterling, man. I haven't been for ages. I just don't think he's that special. And when I look at everyone else, I look at Foden. I think Foden brings more to the table. Grealish, I think Grealish brings more to the table. Rashford, I think Rashford brings more. Sancho, I think Sancho brings more. Those are the players that you're looking to play possibly out wide. Saka, maybe not. But still, in terms of talent, Saka's really, really, really good. Mason Greenwood, same story. I think Mason Greenwood has higher prospects than what we've seen with Sterling. I still think Sterling's just... I don't want to, shoot him down. But I think he's a speed merchant. I just think he's a speed merchant. Yes, he has his good moments, don't get me wrong, but that's not all the time. That is not all the time compared to other players who I think are more consistent. And it's a bold thing to say, and I know I'm going to get some disagreement here, but I'm definitely going to get some that agree. I just don't think Sterling is as special as everyone claims. I think if Sterling didn't play at Manchester City and wasn't playing under Pep Guardiola, he'd be an average player, or he'd look like an average player. He'd just look like someone he's fast. That's it. As I've said, I think there are other players there, but I don't think that's going to happen. What I think Southgate's going to do, he's definitely going to keep Sterling. That's just how it is. I think Ollie Watkins and Saka are the two that, or maybe Greenwood. Maybe Saka might survive. Maybe Ollie Watkins might survive. I think 2 out of those 3 are going to be thrown to the side and will not make the 26-man squad. So that's my prediction. There are some other players that have missed out. Barkley's missed out. Dele Alli's missed out. Tarkowski's missed out. Wilson's missed out. Danny Ings has missed out. When I look at this squad, though, I can understand why. I still think everyone that has been selected here, or at least most of them, are better than the ones that have been missed out. But the names that I'm surprised that are missed out are Maddison, Tomori, and possibly Wan-Bissaka. That's a bit of a shock. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree with me and my points and the England squad? Are you excited? Are you, not excited? Do you look at the squad and go, yeah, nice squad? Or are you in complete disagreement with some of the choices Gareth Southgate has made? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it. Don't forget, I will be bringing you guys Euro coverage, and I will be bringing you guys England videos whilst we get closer to the Euros, as well as transfer news in terms of club football. So that will not be abandoned. Don't stress. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out upload number 2 later on for a Chelsea transfer video in relation to developments going on in Italy involving a certain manager and a certain player at Inter Milan. We'll see what happens, but I'll see all of you then. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one. See you later. Take care and peace.